Hey everyone, welcome back to some World of Tanks. Now, as you may have heard, the E25, which is the tank I'm driving here, is being removed from the in-game store, as well as the premium shop on the World of Tanks website, and it's going to be demoted to something like what the Type 59 and the KB5 are, so something rare that you might see on sale on very rare occasions, or for contests, prizes, and stuff like that. But on the North American server at least, I think it's the same on every other region, but I'm not entirely sure. But December 22nd, it's going to be removed from the in-game tech tree, so you can't buy it with gold that you may already own and stuff like that. And on January 15th of 2015, it is going to be removed from the premium shop on the World of Tanks website. So if you want to pick this up, you've got to go ahead and get it now because time is running out. But since the 22nd is when it was removed from the in-game shop, that was probably yesterday or a couple days ago by the time you see this video, so you're a little late there, sorry. But now, would I recommend this tank? Yes, mostly. Why would I, and why wouldn't I recommend it? Well, it is a great little tank. However, this kind of use that I'm using here isn't really what it's intended for. It's intended to sit in the bushes with a camo net and a camo crew and binoculars and scout the enemy and maybe even fire at them without being spotted. This thing has so little health points that it doesn't have much for armor. Your only hope is really to avoid taking hits at all costs, and technically the best way to do that is to not be spotted. But firing a shot, sometimes less than once every 3 seconds, is amazing. That depends on your crew and everything. I would recommend a rammer on this thing and definitely get it going for everything camo. So camo crew, camo net, that is well worth your money there. If you don't know how camo works in World of Tanks, then you're probably not going to do very well in this, because bum rushing stuff in a tank with this little armor and this few health points, it does suck. But hey, at least you've got speed on your side. But anyway, I have a couple replays for you here today that I want to show off exactly some of the best ways to use this thing. Now, like I said, sitting up there doing what I was doing wasn't what I found to be too smart, but I was trying not to take the hits. I know I wasn't exactly helping my teammate out a whole lot there, and only managed to put one shot into the enemy before he got killed, but I couldn't exactly stop him from doing that, and I was covering him the best I could. Better him take the shots than I do, because I guarantee, well, he probably has more armor than me. I'm not too sure about, but he probably does. But you know what? Probably doesn't. Anyway, moving on. This 88 going up now. He has some armor, along with the Panther, who has a pretty good rate of fire and good accuracy. And so we'll see what kind of trouble they can get themselves into. But right now I'm thinking about rushing in here without taking a hit or getting shot in the back by my allies, hopefully, and getting up on this ridge and seeing if I can spot someone. As you can see, I've got binoculars and a camo net on this thing, which allows me, if I sit still for 5 seconds, to be able to see things a little bit farther away. However, that just doesn't quite happen here. Oh, back up, and did you see how I angled my tank there when I backed up? I didn't just back up straight. That helps me to angle the armor on the front of my tank a little bit more. And I have no idea what this guy's rate of fire is, so I'm assuming every time he stops, he's about to fire. So now I know I can make one shot safely, and maybe almost two, before he can shoot back at me. I have this thing down to, I think, a 2.88 second reload, somewhere around there. And I got lucky, and that shot didn't do any damage. It hit my gun mantlet. Oh, but somebody else is shooting at me. Time to get out of here. No need for me to take damage, especially since one shot from something could potentially take out half my health points. Now, as an E25, taking out our artillery, I'm thinking, okay, I need to get over there. Well, it's way too late for that, just as I expected, but I'm going to go over there and take out that E25 myself. He's only at 30% health, so it shouldn't be too much problem. I'll ram him, I have to, but the T29 got him instead. And that T29 will come back to play a very important role later in the game, so good job to him later on, and you'll see exactly what I mean. Now I'm trying to look for this VK that I was shooting at from the hill earlier. I'm going to stop in the bush, wait for my camo net, and more importantly my binoculars to activate to see if he is hiding over there. Maybe if he is hiding behind a bush, then I can spot him. If he hasn't already spotted me, which I'm guessing he hadn't because I hadn't got shot at. Oh, and there he is. He was behind a building, and that one missed by quite a bit. We took a hit, didn't do a whole lot of damage though. We're going to rush back up in there. We might take one in return, but he's not firing back for some reason, so I don't know what happened there. Either his connection went to crap, or for some reason he was unable to use his gun. Oh, T-34-85. We took another hit in return, but we got another kill. Took another hit, get down there. The Chaffee is tearing us apart, trying not to track ourselves. Go off this little embankment at an angle. Chaffee's still trying to shoot at us, but now he can't. We're down here. However, there is SU-122-44, which those things are dangerous. They have a nasty rate of fire, not that great of armor, but for this thing it could be a bit of a challenge. I have loaded some premium rounds just because I feel like I'm in a tight situation and that's what they're good for. And I imagine I'm going to shoot at something like their T-29 or their 122-44 that I might need these gold rounds for. However, surprise, there's a chappie behind me and he's going to take out a lot of my health points. I didn't have a whole lot to start with, and okay, we got him. There's our third kill. Whew. Now, at that point, already 1,200 damage plus. Decent game, decent game. Well, let's see what else we can do here. We haven't made a whole lot of use of the camo, but that's going to be something we do more of in the second replay I have for you. Now, I know there's a T-29 over here. I kind of lost exactly where he was, so let's spot him. There he is. Now, can I get over behind this building without being shot at? He looks like he's tunnel visioning. He just fired, so we're safe. As long as that 122-44 isn't looking at me, which I don't think he is. Our T-29 is over there doing his job, keeping him occupied. Need to make sure I don't get shot by this T-29, because there's a 95% sure that if I get hit by him, I will be dead. And so I need to avoid taking hits at all costs. Maybe I can keep him distracted so our VK over there can put some shots into him. And our VK, I think that he got a little bit ahead of himself. I think he has a rock over there to hide behind, doesn't he? Let's take a look here. Ooh, don't let the T-29 hit us. Yeah, he's got a building to hide behind over there. I think, though, that even though we were trying to distract the T-29 here... Oh, that was a turn to start at the last second there. That didn't work out. That he got ahead of himself, and he ended up getting himself shot a little bit later on here, putting the pressure on us some more. Now, what I want to do is I need to either keep him spotted and keep him distracted, but I know that's not going to last forever, so what I need to do is eventually get out of here. But, oh, look at that. We're going to ignore the T-29 for a second because we know he can't get to us right away. Uh-oh. I might have waited too long. Get between the buildings. Get between the buildings. Our second shot on the SU-122-44 bounced, unfortunately, so that kind of sucks. There he is. Now, we don't have a very good shot at him. We could have maybe hit the commander's hatch there, but it just couldn't quite happen in time. Let's squeeze between these buildings. Uh-oh. He's coming behind us. Just go. Don't worry about where he is. Just go, go, go. Alright, we had lots of time to spare. No shot on the 122-44. It's a bad idea to run along level ground up there because the T-29 might find a place between the buildings where he can shoot at us. So we're going to stay low. Hopefully we're not spotted right now. We're going to try to sneak up behind this 122-44 because our T-29, he's sitting there at low health, but he has done his job. He has distracted to the 122-44 long enough and whittled him down to a low enough health that we can get that last shot off at him. And I think right about now the 122-44 spots us, and you see him try to reverse into us because he knows he can't turn around without getting killed. As maybe he tried to go for the ramming kill or something like that, but it just didn't work out. Now, where's this T-29? He could come from any direction over there. There he is. If I were him, I maybe would have tried to have been a little bit more unpredictable, but it's tough to do, and our T-29's repositioning himself to hopefully get a shot at their T-29. He's going to take a little bit of a chance too, but it is necessary. Let's watch him behind us. There he is. He's coming along the gully, which is a smart thing to do. Hopefully if their T-29 shoots down towards him, he'll maybe hit the front of his turret, which the front of the T-29 turret is nearly indestructible. There he is. Puts one shot into him. That's all I need. Let me rush around there now. And... ooh, that was pretty lucky. That could have went really bad. I hit the side of his tank. It might have been absorbed by his track, and if it was, there was a pretty good chance that would have just been absorbed by his track and had done no damage, and I would have been very dead. And then it would have been a question of if our T-29 could have shot him before he got out of there. Well, luckily it didn't come down to that. So let's take a look at the second replay. Alright, this time around we are on Cliff, and we are going to, since we're in a fast little tank here, you get to see the speed in action a little bit more. Get to the top of that cliff as fast as we can, up there where the lighthouse is. And they have changed a few patches ago when they adjusted this map. Exactly how you get up to the lighthouse, both sides no longer share a single path. So it's a little bit safer to do so. So almost every game, at least in the higher tiers, I see several tanks from each side getting to the top. And that could cause some very interesting results. Alright, so let's speed over there as fast as we can. Got a Cromwell behind us. We are outrunning the Cromwell. There's been games where I've pushed ELC AMXs up the hill a little bit. Don't know if they were stock or not, but regardless, this thing got to show off its speed and its power going up the hill. And this part here is the scary part. we look over to our lefts, which we don't, we ignore it so we don't drive into the cliff and get stuck. That would be the dangerous part, because that's when enemy tanks can sometimes shoot you in the back and end your game very, very quickly. But we're nearing the top now. We're beside the lighthouse. And what do we have here? Alright, no one's up here yet. That doesn't mean there won't be. We didn't spot anyone coming up. Sometimes you do. But now it's just the waiting game. And patience is something you really need in this tank. Most tanks that don't have armor but have very good camo ratings, that's something you really need. Patience. But like I said, you're going to see a little bit more use of the camo rating here. You can see XVM, the circles, I don't know which one's which, to be honest. The square is how far you can see tanks that have been spotted from. And the circles are how far away they can be, and you still be able to spot them. So you'll notice when I sit still, the two circles become one. So the view range has extended itself a little bit from the binoculars, which are extremely handy on this thing, as aforementioned. Alright, now there's a few tanks down there, including some behind us at the Cromwell spotting. Now, this is one thing that I failed to do this time around, is spot that ridge line like the Cromwell did, to see if there's any enemy tanks coming around that corner. That can be very helpful, even if you can't get a shot off at them, because getting a shot off at the enemy isn't always the most important thing. But if you can spot them for your team, and your team can therefore do some damage on your part, well, you'll get some credits and some experience for your help. But you'll also have the advantage of, well, your team doing some damage for you. And, of course, that helps towards winning. So we put a couple shots into each of them. Oh, not sure what's going on with the replay there. Cromwell's going down. He probably couldn't get back up the hill. And I'm kind of worried about that I'm going to have the same issue. But remember, if you angle your tank, if you try to go up a hill diagonally rather than completely straight up, then you'll typically have better luck. And when you're up here, try to restrain from the temptation to to jump on top of your enemies. Look at that. That Cromwell did some work there. A very good job to him. Now I'm struggling to get back up this hill. I'm sliding. There we go. Managed to get back up it, and this thing's got the power to go forwards pretty well. So no problem there. Unlike the T95, which is extremely slow and underpowered, and if you come across a slight incline, it simply will not climb it, which is horrible if you're trying to be in a hurry, especially. But in a hurry in the T95 doesn't happen. Alright, there we go. 2 shots. He probably didn't even see us. The E25 doesn't have the best view range in the world, and it's not bad, but it could be better still. Hence the binoculars that really any tank that you want to do some scouting with should have. Anyone down there? No, there's an M4 that's around here somewhere. We need to keep an eye out for him. And we could also have some of the tanks that were last seen on the west start coming up along the F and E line over at the intersections of 2 and 3, if that makes sense. And more waiting game. Alright, there's the A44 and the M4. Let's pick off the M4 first because, well, we saw him first. We maybe should have gone for the A44 first because he's hurt a little bit more and get the gun out of the game faster. But I think that for health points wise, they were about the same, so it would have taken just as long. Even though the A44 would have had a slightly more dangerous gun. However, we took that one out, so no problem. We were probably spotted though. He was close enough. Looks like he was 285 meters away when we killed him. Ooh, and there's some artillery in the KV too. And there's the Panther. Alright, let's shoot out the artillery first. Take him out first because he's the big threat to me up here, I feel. If I get spotted, then I am in trouble. I can't hit him though. Let's go for the stationary target. Nope, I missed. There we go, got him. Alright, he's hiding behind the KV too. Remember that for later. I'm taking a hit though. Fire one more shot because we have a good reload. Faster than almost everybody else. Everybody else remaining on their team at least. And that Panther becomes the next target for us because he is posing the biggest threat. We don't know where the A44 is yet though. He was last spotted over in F3. We do need to deal with him. There he is. Can we get a shot at him? Nope, we're going to ignore him. He is now outside of our view range, so we can't see him to get a shot at him. Just because they're out of your view range, though, doesn't mean you can't hit them. So if they have backed out and you can't see them, you can still shoot them. I'm trying to inch forward to get him into my view range there. But just wasn't going to quite happen, and I think he's behind the cliff anyway. Behind that hill over there. So let's see if we can get a look at the Panther. Peek over this ridge, see if we can find him. We're going to try sitting in the bush, try to help out our camera rating. Whenever there's a bush available to it, use it. See if our binoculars find anything. Nope. Oh, there he is. We had to move to get a shot out of him, which means our camo net and binoculars are gone. We waited to fire until they had reactivated themselves. We try to minimize the chance that we would get spotted, because remember, they still have that S-51. We could pull away from the edge of the hill and get shot at regardless. I'm still nervous about the A44. He might be coming back up here. It's just me and our artillery now versus 3 of their tanks and artillery. Is he down there still? He's probably at the base of the cliff now. He might be climbing up to come get us. If I were him, that's not something I would rule out. Oh, there's the A44. I need to somehow get a shot off at him, but I'm not close enough. I can't get him in my view range. To be effective, I need to do that. Going through my mind right now, how can I get close enough? I don't want to give up my position. Oh, there's the Panther. Ah, that bounced off of the side, of course. That's what I get. Worried about that artillery as usual. I'm always paranoid about artillery. However, I just got an idea. Let's go hide up here in this bush. Hopefully, if we can get that, our camo net set up in time, and our binoculars going, we can spot him very easily without him seeing us, in, at least until we fire. But by then, it might be too late for him. So let's see what we can find. Our M12, our last remaining artillery piece, is running away, which is probably the best choice for him. However, since the A44 is still spotted on the minimap, our M12 was probably still spotted too. There he is. Through the front of his hull. Take out that building. That went right through the building and into him. Either that or he destroyed the building right before I fired that shot, which I think is what happened. Let's get out of here. Our artillery is going to be aiming in on us potentially if he's not looking for their artillery, or our artillery, I mean. We can't take that chance. We have to carry this game because artillery alone, although he might be able to put up a fight, he's probably going to have a really hard time winning. A44 is at 1%. Let's see if we can get that shot at him. He's at the extent of our view range, and oh, very nice shot, M12. Good job. Very good job to you. And now you see in chat the enemy team is arguing over whether or not I'm carrying the game or just kill stealing. Alright, if that's what you want to do with your lives, then enjoy. Alright, now we have the S-51 and the KV-2. Last spotted both in the cap. Remember, the S-51 was hiding behind the KV-2. And the KV-2 had not moved or even pointed his gun at anybody, so it looks like he's either a bot or AFK. So we should maybe hope that he is. However, we can't exactly rely on that fact, because if it turns out that he just came back to his computer now, if he was AFK, or if he's a bot, he could still potentially shoot at people. Usually, not always, but usually bots will just sit in the cap circle all game and point their gun at enemies, not even moving the tracks, depending on how good the bot is, I guess. Alright, so let's move up to these bushes on this ridgeline and see if we can get a shot off at them. See if we can spot them first. And that's the hope. Hide behind the bush. There he is. Didn't even have to wait for the camo net and the binoculars to appear. S-51 is hiding behind a bush, which is doing nothing. And where did that shot go? And where did that one go? Right now I'm thinking, what? Is he aiming at me? It doesn't look like he's aiming at me, but he's making me quite nervous, and nothing is happening. What? I'm saying to Bruiser, who's platooned with me now, and I'm like, where did my shells go? And they weren't bouncing off of him. Alright. Oh, and there's a KV-2. Right, he's hiding behind the KV-2. Alright, that explains why we couldn't see a thing. Oh, there's a rocket in my face. Our artillery just fired. There we go. Now we can pick off the artillery. It's no longer behind the KV-2. There we go. He's dead, and now we can shoot at the KV-2. I don't know if he's looking at me or not, but I'm taking the chance. I'm going to keep firing. Get ourselves our 7th kill, maybe. One more. And there we go. That's actually the second highest amount of kills I've gotten before. I've got 8 several times. I can't remember exactly how many in a variety of tanks. But that was a pretty good game. So if you have been thinking about getting the E25, personally, if you know how the camo values work in World of Tanks at least a little bit, or if you want to learn how they work, then get one for sure. If you don't, then it might be a little bit difficult and you might not enjoy this tank too much. But if you can make the game mechanics work for you, then this tank is arguably overpowered, which is why it's being removed from the stores without being removed from the game. It's not being removed from the game, just to clarify that. You're still going to be able to play it if you own it forever, in theory. Yeah, and since this is probably going to be the last video before Christmas, I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Happy holidays, regardless of if you celebrate it or not. You're being welcome. You're being given a happy holiday, regardless. So accept it, as I said already. Right. Well, next game it's going to be in artillery on Stalingrad. I think that's the name of the map, the new one, and. Oh man, that is not just a typical artillery match, so if you haven't seen it, or if you don't like watching artillery games, you should definitely check that one out anyway. I spend most of my time in shotgun mode and TD mode, so it's a lot of fun. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.